Okay, well, you are a grief counselor, certified grief counselor. Tell me what that means.
That means that,
How did you become certified?
That's also a good question. So there are different schools that offer certifications. So, just how you might become, let's see, maybe you get a certification for cake decorating or floral. There are certifications of certified florists. It is a level of education that is above what other people have. And so, because I was a funeral director, I was accepted into Columbia's School of Social Work, and I took their grief counselor certification, and so I received my certification through Columbia University. And I also received a certification from the American Health Practitioners Association for grief counseling. But there are different levels of that. Like, I have a friend, and she asked me about becoming a grief counselor because she's a preacher's wife and people ask her questions.
Sure.
And so she went online and took a course that, it was a very easy course, but it gave her more information than she would have had before she took it, but I wouldn't say that it was extensive. So, like the certifications that I have to yearly requalify and do continuing education. Just like with my funeral license, I have to do continuing education and pass testing and everything. So, just because a person is a certified grief counselor, you don't know what level of certification that is.
Right.
So you need to ask some questions, but it's better to have something than nothing.
Right. True.
But being a certified counselor is not a licensed counselor. It's certified. If you were to, let's say that you needed medication with your grief.
Right.
You would need to go to a licensed practitioner who can prescribe medication. I can't do that.
Right, sure.
But if you came to me and you were in that situation, I would definitely refer you to someone who could help you.
So what kind of programs do you have, like individual, group? What are some of your services?
We have offered all kinds. What I find people want most from me is a one-on-one. Whereas I might prefer to do a group because, I don't have to become involved in each person's individual issues because it's handled as a group, and the group helps each other, and so I really like that kind of situation, but I find more of what I do as a one-on-one because people have, usually when they get to me, they've gone to those support groups and they just haven't worked for them, so they need a higher level of care.
So after the services are over, do you offer some kind of a special service to those who, do you check on them? Do you call them up? Do you send
check
messages?
on them. We send them emails. There's places on our funeral home website that they can go to for videos and articles to read. If they actually need to meet with us, they can call us. We will very happily or gladly meet with them to try to help them because grief is a very difficult thing to endure, and especially when it's someone very close to you, like if you lose your spouse, that's terrible. If you lose a child, it's devastating. I mean, there's nothing that can compare to that.
Right.
You lose your mom, hopefully you're a grown-up when you lose your mom, but you might not be. You might be a child, and children especially need help with grief. And the thing with children is they grieve as they age. So when they're 3, they understand death a different way than when they're 7. When they're 7, now they understand more, and so they grieve again, but in a different way. And so you have to help them through that. Well, when they're 12, they understand even more, and so they will grieve that death again at 12. It's a difficult thing for a child because the more they understand, the more they grieve. And so it's important to help them at every level so that it's not compounded and turns into a difficult.
What are some of the things you do to help the child and the youth?
Well, I would say the most important thing that you can do for a child first is only to speak on their level of understanding. Don't go into all this detail that they don't understand that's going to terrify them, you know. But the most important thing, other than speaking on their level, is to be honest. Not to hide it, not to act like it's no big deal. Like, you know, you don't say, oh, they're just sleeping, or, you know, it's okay, no, they're not sleeping and it's not gonna be okay. You have to deal with the realities on their level. And so that's the most important thing to do.
Do you do you offer services? I mean, somebody like in Canada saw this and called you. Would you talk to them about, walk them through their grieving?
I talk to people all over the world that call me constantly. I hopefully they all speak English, but sometimes they don't. I have this little Korean lady, and we use a translator.
Yeah.
You know, and so I speak with people all over, and you know, try to help them. If I think that they need more than I can do for them, like someone in a foreign country, if I just think, you know, maybe they would benefit from a one-on-one in person, then I'll just tell them, look, you know, let me try to find you someone, but you really need to have one-on-one in person, not one-on-one Zoom or one-on-one typing, you know.
Well, is there an additional charge for this service that you provide?
You know, I have never charged anyone for that, because usually, you know, what my goal is to make the person self-reliant instead of reliant on me. And so, and I try to do that really quickly, because the longer you drag it out, I mean, it's an ongoing thing for them. If you can get them independent, or find them a buddy, someone who has gone through what they're going through, that has come through it and is willing to help them, and kind of like Alcoholics Anonymous, how they have the buddy system.
Right.
If you can do that,
very successful.
Yeah,
by the way.
Because yes, and the thing is because that person is there, they can see, well, this person has overcome this, and life is good, you know. So it helps them see that there's hope, instead of sitting in an office and talking. And not that there's anything wrong with that, because a lot of times that's what they need. But I just think the quicker you can get back into your life and into your functioning, the better for you.
So, how do you help someone with? I guess there's different ways to pass away. You know, sometimes it's sudden, sometimes it's, you know, expected, sometimes it's like now it's crazy, like suicide and overdose.
Oh, I know.
How do you handle these things? How do you support these families that go through these different things?
It is difficult. Unexpected death is shocking, and you're unprepared for it. Whereas an expected death, you are preparing yourself, although the actual moment of death is still unexpected, so it's still a shock when the person dies. But you know, you have to work with them, interview them, find out, you know, what really is holding them back. A lot of people think, I need this grief counseling because this is so hard, when really it's normal. You know, and a lot of times just helping them realize that what they're feeling is normal is all the help they need.
Right. Okay, our time is almost up.
Looks like it.
Appreciate you coming and viewing our message today. If you haven't already, please like or subscribe. If you have any questions for Tracy, just look up the website, and she'll be glad to answer your questions, and we'll bring them back the next time we meet. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye.
Thank you.